Okay, so we should be in the right place now. Perfect. Hi everyone. I am just, whoops, crap.
They're both running at the same time.
I get that. Hold on. I'm going to be reading storybooks, but we're just going to do one quick thing.
You can do both at the same time.
I can do both at the same time, I'm being told, and now I've said a bad word for a children's book, and this is not very good. This is definitely going to be our test run. Okay. So, but we can't do both at the same time because then I can only see one group of people, and that's going to confuse me. So, I'm going to just end on my page, and if anyone wants to join me, if you click over to the kitchen table stories and to the event that's called Cathedral Mouse, I'm going to be reading a children's book called Cathedral Mouse because we thought we could do a virtual story time for folks. So I'm going to get rid of the one that's just on my Facebook feed, and then we're going to go on this one so it can be more public and not just my friends, much as I love you all. All right. Okay, so this should be good. I'm going to wait until my test case of Amanda comes right on, and we're just going to call this one the first pancake, and everything's going to be bad because it's going to be the first pancake. So let's see if I can text Amanda and say, Amanda, can you be my test case and come on over to the right place? Because that's where we'll be. Hi, Elena. Wait. I moved over to the event. You can tell that I like reading because I'm not very tech savvy. Who knows? Maybe no one will watch this. And oh, good. There's Liz. It's nice having friends all over, so I know I'm in the right place, and then I can just say hello to you. I like technical glitches, especially when I'm staring at my own face, and it's like I'm having a conversation just with myself. So I had promised a story about a mouse to a little girl in New Jersey, so we're going to wait until she joins. Though I assume there are small humans in Utah who might also be watching. Hello, Utah! We're just going to wait for New Jersey to join us. This is a little silly. But I figure eventually we'll work out the kinks, and it's not a bad idea, though I have a cold, so unlike celebrity storytellers who get all the fun. But we'll see. Come on, Amanda. Let's bug her again. Come on over. All right. I am so not technical. So the kids in Utah, are you guys still in school or are you guys off school for now? I know you can't talk back to me, but I'll just keep asking questions and maybe your mom could write in. Ah, crud. Maybe she can't see me. This is very complicated. So many... You're doing them just fine. You're off school. Oh, that's great. I did it through that page. Okay. Maybe Tatsu, if you're on, could you share the event page to my regular Facebook? Does that make sense? Well, that must be nice, being off school, at least for you kids. Hopefully for Mom, too. I've got a friend in Scotland who's going to be maybe reading us some stories later. He's going to record them, and then we'll get them up. And, and so then we'll have multiple voices. Okay. Oh, goody. This really is the first pancake. Mixed reaction to being off school. Yeah, it's hard. I like schedules. I'm not sure I would have wanted to be off school. But when I was in school, we had February break. So we would have been in the middle of stuff. So that would have made it much harder. All right. Okay, maybe if we just do this as an invite. Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
How weird. Okay.
It's hard to find.
Okay, so apparently we're going to have to work on a different version for other times. But Elena found us. That's impressive. Okay. We'll work on this for next time. Thank you for bearing with me, Utah and Elena. Elena, it would be really cool maybe if your brother wanted to record some of his stories. If he emailed them to me, I could post them too, and then we could have stories in Italian. See, for you people in Utah, my friend Elena is Italian, and she lives in Canada too, but her brother writes storybooks and is an illustrator, so I was thinking it would be cool if we had some stories in Italian too. They're very good. He has very good illustrations. I can't read Italian, but I can admire his illustrations. All right. Well, let's see.
Can I try something?
Yes, I'm going to let my technical support come in. Don't mind my technical support's giant face. Sorry, Liz.
You don't have options.
I don't have options.
You can invite your friends.
Okay, so we need to work on a different system. For now, let's just this book. And we'll work on being more public later. Tomorrow we should be up on YouTube, which should make this a little easier. But since I did promise a story about a mouse to Eliza, I'll read the story about a mouse. And since I did also promise James and Scotland that I would do a demo of how to do a chapter book, I will do that at 5/2. And we'll work from there. Sounds good? Okay. So, first pancake. Do you guys know about the first pancake? The first pancake never turns out very well. Alright, so the book I thought I would read today is called Cathedral Mouse. And I really like this book. My grandmother, my Grammy, gave this to me. And it's about a wonderful little mouse who lives in a cathedral in New York City. And so let's get started. Oops. So can you all see? Yes, that's pretty good. So we can see the mouse. He's frolicking. All right. From the day Mouse was born, he wanted a real home. Mouse was so small that no one saw him slip out of the pet store into the snowy street. No one saw him sniff the stalks of sugar cane and crates of fruit outside the bodega. But in front of the meat market, someone did see him, the big orange cat who worked there. Mouse ran for his life across the street, up some broad stone steps, and through a towering doorway. Oops. Do you see the mouse going all the way through the doorway? He found himself in a vast space, dim and echoing with mysterious sounds. Ooh. Mouse was in a cathedral. Near him, candles flickered on a low, polished table. Mouse curled up near the golden lights to warm himself. But a hand came toward him, and Mouse felt danger, so he ran again. Now, for you guys in Utah, I bet this looks pretty different than the church you go to. It's going to be my guess. He dashed past human feet, up up a carved screen, higher and higher, until he came to rest, his heart pounding. He darted in and out of the windows and doors, in and out and up and down. But faces loomed out of the shadows and frowned at him. Mouse leapt from the screen and scurried for safety. Those are very big, scary statues, I would think, especially if you're just a little mouse. As he ran, he caught a scent. "Mice," he whispered, "mice!" Mouse scampered along a railing and a wall. Slipping and sliding, he fell, tail first, into a long organ pipe. Thump! At the bottom of the pipe, Mouse tumbled into a nest of mice. "Get out! Get out! You're not one of us!" they hissed. They were large and gray. Mouse was small and spotted. "But," said Mouse. "Out!" they said, rising like a fierce gray wall. I would be very scared to be surrounded by those. They don't look very nice. Mouse ran through a hole in the organ pipe and fell head over heels into the choir stall. He ran along the top and leaped over the edge. He landed on the head of a carved lamb and slid down its nose into a cozy hollow. Mouse hid there, his heart still thumping. No one came. It was quiet. So Mouse curled his tail over his nose, and snuggled down. Then crash! A large hymn book fell through the air and narrowly missed him. Much bigger book than this, I would think. Mouse dashed away, running to find a safe place. Finally, he reached the top of a stone pillar. "I will sleep here tonight, and tomorrow I will find a home." So Mouse slept, and cold and alone. In the morning, he was awakened by a delicious smell. Next to him lay some bread and cheese. He ate them hungrily, and while he ate, he peered out at the world around him. So I have a cat, and she sleeps like that too, with her nose all tucked over her tail all tucked over her nose. Light fell jewel bright through the windows. Pale ribbons of light cut through the endless space. Beams of light made soft glowing patterns on the marble floor. Mouse scampered down his pillar. "Blue mouse toes, red mouse tail," he sang and danced in the light. I'm not doing very well getting the illustrations and being able to read. It's a bit awkward with a camera. It'd be much easier if you guys were here. But I suppose that's just another challenge we're going to have to deal with. But suddenly, a huge mop crashed down, almost crushing him. A man shouted, and Mouse ran back to his pillar. "I must learn to be more careful," Mouse said. And he did. He learned to explore and slide and sing and play when everything felt safe and quiet. Other times, he slept on his pillar. Sometimes when he awakened, more bread and cheese were beside him. "This pillar is safe, and it gives me bread and cheese," said Mouse. "But it is not a real home." One day, Mouse almost dashed against the shoe of a man. The man was sitting in the shadows near the pillar. "Ah, there you are," said the man. Mouse froze with fear, but the man's voice was soft and slow. "Don't be afraid," he said, reaching his hand towards Mouse. Mouse didn't move. He looked at the man, and the man looked at him and smiled. Slowly the man moved his hand closer. Mouse leaped to his pillar and scrambled to the top. The man walked away, nodding his head and smiling to himself. After that, the man came often. Every time he reached out his hand, each time Mouse let it come a little closer. until at last the man touched Mouse's head. Then one day Mouse felt brave enough to step into the man's hand, for just a moment. After a very long time, Mouse let the man lift him up and give him rides high on his arm. And then Mouse let the man slip into his pocket. In the pocket, Mouse found a surprise. Bread and cheese. They tasted just like the bread and cheese on Mouse's pillar. The man laughed when Mouse popped his head out of the pocket, his furry cheeks stuffed with his favorite food. "Tomorrow I will take you to my workshop so you can keep me company, little Cathedral Mouse," said the man. Even the man is very small in the big cathedral. This is a real place, and if you visit it, you too will feel small, no matter how big you are. It's one of my favorite places. And so he did. The man gently tucked Mouse into the cuff of his woolen hat, where Mouse could stay warm and see everything. Together they went through a side door of the cathedral. Then they went into a shed filled with blocks of stone. The man took off his cap and placed it on a stool. "Now, my little friend, you can curl up in my cap and watch." So Mouse watched from his woolly perch. He watched the man pound stone with a large wooden hammer. He pounded and pounded against a nail-like tool. All the pounding made a white dust from the stone. By the end of the day, the man was covered with white dust, just like powdered sugar. I think that looks quite a cozy spot to be in someone's hat like that. After that, the man often took Mouse to his workshop. On other days, Mouse slid and sang and danced and played in the cathedral. By the end of every day, Mouse returned to his pillar. "It's not a real home," he said. But then one day he could not return. A group of men were pushing something heavy on top of his pillar. "Now I have no place at all," he said. He slowly left his high perch and sadly passed by his pillar. What do you think is going to go onto the pillar? You think it could be a home for the mouse? But a big warm hand reached out and lifted him up. "Look what I have carved for you," said Mouse's friend. Mouse looked. "You have carved me," said Mouse. "And more," said the man. He set Mouse gently on the stone. Mouse crept into a tunnel just his size and found a little room. "A home," said Mouse. "Now I have a real home." "And now you are a real Cathedral Mouse," said the man. And so he was, and so he would always be, forever and ever. The end. Well, there we go. So, I know that it's hard to see the pictures sometimes, but I would love to hear if that worked at all. I know it's a bit dubious, but we'll see how it goes.
This delay.
I am glad you are all amused. It is a strange way to have a story hour. We'll have to figure out if there's a way to make it work better. I'm gonna guess that somebody is bugging me about this. Oh, it worked well, says Amanda. Amanda says it works well. So, Liz, if your kids think that this would work, I would love to hear if that would work for them. And I am going to read a chapter book in about, half an hour or so, and we'll see how that goes. We'll try and figure this out. It's definitely going to take a little more finagling than I expected. Technology is never easy. But thank you guys so much for joining me from Utah, and maybe I'll see some of the older kids in a little while. Bye, guys.